Good morning, everyone. I am most pleased and honored to be here with a great array of local, regional, and national leaders from business, industry, and government. A few I'm going to introduce right now, and a few of them you will hear from in just a few minutes. But let me first and foremost acknowledge John F.W. Rogers, Chief of Staff and Executive Vice President of Goldman Sachs and Chairman of Goldman Sachs Foundation, and welcome him more formally to Philadelphia. Thank you. Of course, everyone knows U.S. Representative Pat Meehan. Congressman Meehan, thank you so much for being here with us today. Dr. Steve Curtis from the Community College of Philadelphia. Dr. Curtis, thank you. Mark Pinsky, Opportunity Finance Network. Mark, thank you very, very much for your presence here today. I know as I was coming in, let me also recognize the presence of State Representative Rosita Youngblood and Councilman at Large David O. Could we please recognize both of them? Thank you. We have a quite exciting announcement to make this morning, and one we've been waiting to make for some time. Today I am very, very excited and very proud of our great city to announce that Goldman Sachs and the Goldman Sachs Foundation have committed $20 million in financial capital and philanthropic support to small business owners in Philadelphia and the greater Philadelphia region as part of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. Philadelphia now joins 8 other cities across the United States, including New York, Chicago, and New Orleans, and 2 other states, in a partnership with Goldman Sachs to unlock the growth and job creation potential of small businesses in our city and region. This new program will help small businesses all across Philadelphia and the region by providing access to capital and a world-class business and management education program that so far 1,000 small businesses all across the United States have already been participating in, and it's working. The program has a 99% graduation rate, and within 6 months of completion, 70% of the businesses actually increased their revenues. 50% of the businesses have hired new workers. And I'm sure that all of our elected officials here today and throughout the city and region will agree that creating more jobs in Philadelphia and the Philadelphia region is our #1 job. That is our responsibility. Small business owners can start applying today. Visit the Community College of Philadelphia's website at www.ccp.edu/10sb. Wow. To download an application form. You can also contact PIDC and the Community First Fund directly to apply for capital. Bringing Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program to Philadelphia has truly been a team effort, and I'm honored to stand here with so many of our friends and partners who helped to make this day possible. First and foremost, of course, the team from Goldman Sachs, and again in particular, John F.W. Rogers, the Executive Vice President, as I mentioned, and Chief of Staff at Goldman Sachs, the Chair of the Goldman Sachs Foundation. But John comes, of course, and other than being right in front of me, Dina Powell, and so many of the folks from Goldman. Can we please give them another round of applause one more time? Thank you. John, I can tell you that we are real excited about this new partnership, and just to let you know, it has truly been a pleasure to work with this team of professionals. They are focused, they are dedicated, they are committed. They take you through a process, and at the end, of course, not only have we been successful, but I think more importantly, we will be great beneficiaries of this program. Let me also thank a number of our outstanding partners and those who have worked with us to make this program a success. Our Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, Alan Greenberger, his Chief of Staff, Luke Butler, and the Department of Commerce team, of course, Kevin Dow and Sylvie Gallier-Howard. Dr. Stephen Curtis and the Community College of Philadelphia. Dan Bentoncourt and the Community First Fund. Dan, thank you. Rob Wunderling and the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. Varsovia Fernandez and the Greater Philadelphia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And of course, the one, the only, Pat Coulter and the Urban League of Philadelphia. Let me also give special thanks and appreciation to John Grady and his team at PIDC, especially Jenny Crowther. John? They also, of course, were partners in helping us to bring 10,000 small businesses to Philadelphia. This new program also builds on PIDC's 55-year commitment to helping small businesses in our city, and I want to recognize the role, again, that they played in getting us to today's announcement. This new program is just the latest in a series of efforts to help businesses in this city start here, stay here, and grow in Philadelphia. Whether it's Startup PHL, a joint initiative between the city and PIDC in support of Philadelphia's entrepreneurial community, PIDC's emerging loan and guarantee programs, or the work done by the city's Department of Commerce to support small businesses and entrepreneurs on commercial corridors all across our city, our administration is working around the clock to support businesses and create jobs in Philadelphia. Thank you all for your participation here today. I want to thank the partners again for their commitment to Philadelphia. And with that, let me now bring to the podium John Rogers from Goldman Sachs to say a few words. John?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be here and a wonderful opportunity for Goldman Sachs to be engaged with this community. I'm also very happy to be here with the mayor, whose name is talked about in my own household quite often. My wife, Deborah Lair, had the opportunity of traveling recently in December with the mayor in China. And outside of pursuing the sister city obligations of Philadelphia, they also ended up in Beijing in discussions about sustainability and the work that can be done with China. But I think the thing that was remarkable about it is that the mayor put to shame a whole series of Chinese mayors when it came up in the conversation that you do your own grocery shopping. And it was quite embarrassing to a number of the others. For me, I can tell you that only thing I know now is more about big belly solar panel trash compactors than I had ever hoped to know. Now, it's been said that you will consider Philadelphia from its central location, the extent of its commerce, the number of its artificers, small businesses, and other circumstances to be to the United States what the heart is to the human body in circulating the blood. Now, that was spoken today? No, that was spoken in 1790 about this city, but it could be said today, and that's why we're here at Goldman Sachs, because entrepreneurship, innovation, invention, the lifeblood of American growth, and indeed our own individual freedom itself, continues to flow strongly in Philadelphia. And we at Goldman Sachs are proud to join all of you as we work together to nurture an environment where today's entrepreneurs can continue this strong tradition. Philadelphia has all the attributes that we look for in a partner for 10,000 small businesses: a scalable business sector, strong local partners, and the potential for economic growth. Goldman Sachs is pleased to help small business owners in the greater Philadelphia area grow and create jobs over the next 5 years through this commitment of $20 million in philanthropic support and loan capital. This investment reflects our core values at Goldman Sachs, the central precept which we approach every client relationship is simple: to help them grow. And we also believe that we have a responsibility to the communities where we live and work. And there was no one more strongly an advocate in this than Nicole Pullen-Ross, who is my colleague and the managing director of our office here in Philadelphia, an office that was established in 1920 and has been a continuous part of this community. And I might add that our founder, Marcus Goldman, came from Philadelphia, originally as a small business operator in this city. So we feel a very close relationship here to Philadelphia. The mayor spoke about job growth in this country and the success of our program in the cities that we've operated in so far in this program. And I can assure you that those results are quantifiable, and that's why we come and invest in places that also can mark and be quantifiable. And we believe that here in Philadelphia, the proof of this program's effectiveness will be fully borne out. So the strength of our partners throughout the country where we participate becomes a critical factor in our decision to launch 10,000 small businesses here. And so the organizations that the mayor has spoken about, the Community College of Philadelphia, which is going to be the place where we're going to hold the classes for this program, and under Dr. Stephen Curtis's directorship. And I could say that, Stephen, his entire career has been in the field of music, beyond managing community colleges. And I can tell you one of the things that we like about people who are majors in music is that they are highly quantifiable. Their basic skills are mathematics. And so we are really glad that he'll be overseeing the delivery mechanism. And of course, the financial institutions, the community financial institutions, the CDFIs, that we are going to invest in to reach directly into Philadelphia and the surrounding counties are particularly important. And so John Grady and Dan, where's Dan? Benacourt is critical as part of those partnerships. And to gain the right applicants to this program, we need people that are part of the community. And so those people who are working in the Urban League here, who are going to help us, or the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, or the city's Chamber of Commerce to help in the recruiting process, they become essential to make this program a success. And we know that from the cities in which we've operated up till now. So there's an incredible potential for continued growth here in this community, and through the efforts of these partners and the leadership of the mayor, we're committed to this community of entrepreneurships, and we believe that this is going to be a wonderful program, and we're simply delighted to be here and to invest in Philadelphia. Thank you.
Well, let me take a moment to say thank you to Mayor Nutter for allowing me to be part of this tremendous day for Philadelphia, and to express my deep appreciation to John Rogers, to Goldman Sachs, and to the Goldman Sachs Community Foundation for choosing to make Philadelphia and the region of Philadelphia a location in which they are making this kind of a significant commitment. Let me talk about a couple of things which I think are so important to appreciate about this commitment. First is the objectives of the program and why they make so much sense. First, small business. The engine of new job growth is small business, and that is going to be the way that we continue to create new opportunity, but find the way to create the new tomorrow for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and for the United States. Second is the niche that has been identified, and it's important to appreciate that what we are talking about here is not the startup company. But when you talk to many of those who make investments in companies that ultimately growing to be in something significant, it is this fledgling period that finds very few investors. And so by identifying those who have created something already that has some sort of potential, and then working with them from the funding side, the education side, the communication side, it enables a real opportunity to grow meaningful businesses in the long term. And third, I think it's significant that they've chosen to partner with Philadelphia Community College, because while there be certain identifiable recipients of this particular grant program, the fact is that the education will be taking place, the professors and others will be part of it, and it will be replicable. And it will stay with us even for those who are beyond the scope of this particular program. So the objectives match so clearly with the opportunities and times. Let me talk on a second point, which is the demographics and why I think this is very significant. And I enjoy working so closely with Mayor Nutter because he has a vision that looks at the city of Philadelphia but also appreciates the entirety of our region. And I want to emphasize that this is a regional program, because what I have a concern about is the fact that we have inner ring suburbs that in many ways, I believe, are neglected because they do not have the governmental infrastructure to be able to compete in the way a major city may be, nor do they have the kinds of resources in places that are continuing to grow with prosperity. This is exactly the kind of a place where we can see new opportunities for reinvestment, because I believe, first, we are a city of neighborhoods. It has been what has identified us from the early founding of this city, and it has continued on into the suburbs, particularly those inner ring suburbs. And as we begin to see congestion and energy costs and other kinds of things, we're seeing a reappreciation for that opportunity. So those who are able to take advantage of it will be able to create vitality throughout our entire region. And let me just speak lastly about some major trends which I think are significant and which match this kind of a program. First is the whole idea, as we now are in a time of transition as a nation, and one of the big challenges we are facing is the exploding costs associated with healthcare. And those who are able to deliver quality healthcare in a more efficient manner are going to be able to find great new opportunity, and many of those may be made with entrepreneurs who are going to be able to partner with the tremendous institutions we have in our region. When you add that with the older population we have and moving away from acute care, this is a tremendous growth opportunity for us within the region. The second is energy. And we sit right now on what may be one of the greatest opportunities that we will have as a region by virtue of the natural gas that we have here. The proximity to that natural gas, the proximity to our universities that can bring research and development to it, and the proximity to the East Coast market and the waterways to transport it, create the opportunity for us to be, for energy, a hub which can match what health sciences did for Boston, what technology did for Palo Alto. The kind of vision that is shared here by the mayor and others, and the kind of entrepreneurial spirit is what will bring that in. And lastly, something that I see quite a bit in my work in Washington, we have been the beneficiary in business of the information superhighway, something that has created the small business connections one to another and in fact collected the world. But while that has worked so effectively for communication and job growth, the reality is it is a very insecure system. And there is going to be a continuing need. And ideas are not necessarily going to come just from the biggest companies. So the ability in a place where we've got very little security, it also means we have great vulnerability. Vulnerability that can affect personal privacy, vulnerability that can create potential for crime, vulnerability that can create potential for acts of terrorism. To find solutions for that creates opportunity. I close my remarks by saying that the marrying of this tremendous asset, encouraging entrepreneurs matches the realization that in this time of transition, there's tremendous potential. I'm so grateful for the commitment of Goldman Sachs to see that potential here in Philadelphia and the entire region. Look forward to working with them. Thank you.
The three speakers you've heard so far, I think, illustrate so clearly what it takes to bring this kind of initiative to our city, to our region, and to make it successful. Congressman Meehan and other elected officials in our region have been so supportive and have really embraced the role of higher education and embraced this kind of initiative and the difference that it can make. To Mr. Rogers and Goldman Sachs, there's vision there and real teeth behind the vision and a real willingness in a practical way to help make this successful. And of course, our mayor has been single-minded in wanting the absolute best for Philadelphia and finding ways to promote innovation, to promote job growth, and we at Community College of Philadelphia are very happy to be part of that. I've actually known about the 10,000 small businesses for a couple of years at a distance. I have a president colleague at another college in another state who has been involved, or her college has been involved, in the Goldman Sachs initiative for 2 or 3 years. And every time I'd talk to her, she would use words like extraordinary, outstanding, superb. So when I finally learned that Goldman Sachs was investigating Philadelphia as the next site where 10,000 small businesses could be launched, I was already sold. We were very grateful that Goldman Sachs came. We realized that this kind of business education management program for small business owners, in fact, means that Goldman Sachs truly gets it. Community colleges are at the center of our communities, and I believe that we are at the nexus of all kinds of issues across our community, including workforce and economic development. At Community College of Philadelphia, we already engage with small businesses in a number of ways, but I can tell you we have quickly recognized that the scope, scale, and breadth of this initiative is going to take us well beyond what we're currently doing with small businesses. So we know that this initiative, which we're launching today, will truly be transformational. Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses is unique because it provides a robust set of practical services to small business owners at no cost. It's unique because of its unique business and management education program, of its critical networking opportunities, and of its business support services. And as you've heard, it also provides access to capital. The program doesn't just talk about the challenges facing small business owners, it helps provide solutions and resources so that the small business owner can indeed achieve his or her goals. Entrepreneurs in our program, I think the mayor already referenced this, will participate and complete a 100-hour, highly practical curriculum designed by leading business schools, and it's going to cover finance, accounting, negotiations, human resources, marketing, becoming bankable, and much more. The participants will have a chance to learn from their peers, but they'll also have the opportunity to network with local experts who will serve on program panels and for clinics. They will benefit from customized one-on-one business advising to help them apply what they learn in class and to develop a customized plan for growing their business. That's the ultimate goal. How can they increase business revenue? How can they increase job creation in their business? The program will also help business owners as they are ready to apply for the capital portion of the program. It's a comprehensive package, and the college is proud to be a participant in this. But we also know that we can't do it by ourselves. And for that, you've already heard mention of 3 pivotal partners for us. These are partners and organizations, I am proud to say, with which we already have strong relationships in an ongoing way. I'll reference again Rob Wunderling, President and CEO of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. That chamber is the seminal advocate for regional business and economic growth, serving not only the leading corporations, but as I hear Rob remind us all the time, small businesses as the majority, I think, of the membership there. Pat Coulter, who's already been referenced, President and CEO of the Urban League of Philadelphia, a community-based organization that provides services, research, and advocacy for individuals and communities, including support for small businesses through its Entrepreneurship Center. And then Varsovia Fernandez to my left, President and CEO of the Greater Philadelphia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. That chamber is dedicated to the advancement and economic growth of the area's Hispanic businesses and professionals through educational programs, technical assistance, access to capital, and other services. These are great partners. They are partners who will help us recruit high potential business owners, both for the educational and the capital programs. They will also help coordinate services to the small business owners. So to Rob, Pat, and Varsovia, we are ready to go. And we are looking forward to working together and doing tons of good work. We appreciate your leadership. We appreciate your commitment. We're also thrilled by the quality of the two strong capital partners. And again, you've heard both of them mentioned. Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation, PIDC, and Community First Fund. The linkage between educational and capital, again, is one of the characteristics that makes this Goldman Sachs initiative so unique. So, we have our capital partners ready to go. We have our local support partners ready to go. Goldman Sachs is certainly ready to go. And I know the city of Philadelphia is ready to go. So we are excited to announce, and again, the mayor beat me to the punch, our website is up and running, www.ccp.edu, that's our website, and then the important slash 10KSB, 10,000 small businesses, 10KSB. We are accepting applications today. The first set of classes will begin in late spring, and they will be housed at our Center for Business and Industry, not too many blocks from here. So we are ready and raring to go. And now I'm pleased to introduce Mark Pinsky, President and CEO of the Opportunity Finance Network, and also a member of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Advisory Council.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Curtis, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, Congressman, and John, for your leadership in bringing this program to reality here today. It is my privilege to serve on the 10,000 Small Businesses Advisory Council under the leadership of Goldman Sachs Chairman and CEO Lloyd Blankfein, and along with Warren Buffett and Dr. Michael Porter of Harvard Business School. It's a remarkable effort to bring a tremendous amount of expertise together. And I'm really delighted to be here today with Mayor Nutter, with Congressman Meehan, with John Rogers, and with Dr. Curtis, and everyone else up here to launch what I think will be a catalytic program in my hometown. It's a really exciting event. My organization, the Opportunity Finance Network, or OFN, is a national network of community development financial institutions, or CDFIs, which are investing in opportunities that benefit low-income, low-wealth, and other disadvantaged people and communities in all 50 states across America. And OFN is very proud to call Philadelphia our home. And I'm very pleased that Goldman Sachs is tapping CDFIs to implement 10,000 small businesses. CDFIs are private sector financial institutions that are dedicated to creating opportunities in those disadvantaged markets. They fill a critical gap by providing finance to businesses that are just outside the margins of conventional finance, linking people and communities and businesses that are outside the margins to economic opportunities, and to help mainstream institutions tap into the remarkable entrepreneurship in what we consider opportunity markets. Goldman Sachs' national commitment of $300 million in support of CDFI small business financing is one of the largest single sources of CDFI financing for small businesses ever, and it has been already catalytic, just as it will be here in Philadelphia. And to date, including the announcement today, Goldman Sachs has allocated more than $100 million of that to CDFIs working in 11 different markets, in urban and rural places around this country, and participating CDFIs in the program have already made more than 200 loans successfully. And here in the Philadelphia area, Goldman Sachs will work with two outstanding CDFI partners, committing $15 million to the Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation and Community First Fund. And Goldman has selected its partners wisely. We're fortunate to have with us two exceptional CDFI leaders, John Grady of PIDC and Dan Betancourt of Community First Fund. John is the president of PIDC, a nonprofit public-private partnership that was established in 1958 by the City of Philadelphia with the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. And PIDC will make capital available to small businesses in the Greater Philadelphia region. Meanwhile, Dan is the president and CEO of Community First Fund, which has been providing critical financing across central and eastern Pennsylvania since 1992. Community First Fund will make capital available to small businesses throughout the eastern and central counties of Philadelphia in places like Chester, Lancaster, and York. These CDFIs in particular bring exceptional expertise in financing and technical assistance to deserving but underserved small businesses. And their deep knowledge of local markets and the relationships with businesses are the reason that they have long track records of lending successfully where others do not or cannot. And I want to end with just one comment, which is that if you work in the credit business long enough, you come to know that credit is a financial transaction, but it has a moral lineage. Because when you make a loan to someone, to a business owner, you're really demonstrating your confidence, your belief in their future. And so I just want to say today that Goldman Sachs' commitment is a statement of its faith in Philadelphia area entrepreneurs, in PIDC and Community First, and in you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
So, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dr. Curtis. Thank you, Congressman Meehan. And, of course, thank you, John Rogers. Two quick announcements, and then any of us would be glad to take any questions from the media. First, let me recognize and express our appreciation to Cheryl Bullock from Senator Bob Casey's office, who is representing him here today. Please recognize her and the senator. And we are most pleased and excited to have a graduate from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program who has joined us again. We had a meeting, I guess, just a few weeks ago, and I implored her to come back. You'll hear more from her at the lunch, but wanted to give a big shout out and continued recognition here in Philadelphia. I figure if I shout her out enough times, she'll just move to the city. I am relentless in that regard. That is Jessica Johnson, who is the Johnson Security Bureau, and if you need any of those kinds of services, I would strongly recommend Jessica and her firm. With that, thank you so much. Let's give it up one more time for John Rogers, Goldman Sachs, Dina Powell, and the entire team. Thank you.